Hi everybody. So in this video I want to talk about the aura. Okay, the aura, what that means and how people should really learn how to not even read, because you can read, yeah, well, I can say you can read it, but you can interpret it, people's aura, because it helps you weed out early people you don't want in your life and people you want in your life. So first of all, you cannot truly be able to discern what you're perceiving from somebody else if you don't discern yourself. You have to have a certain level of self-awareness to not project yourself or your thoughts or your feelings onto somebody else and interpret it as coming from somebody else. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people that can do these things naturally, if you're not aware of yourself, you're going to pick up your own feelings and you project it on someone, thinking that it's coming from that person, but it's really coming from you. Now let's talk about what the aura is. You know that the human being is a spirit. It's not a physical thing, right? Poured into this body. But the spiritual nature of the human is so big that the body cannot contain it. So it extends out. So and the spirit of the human is what the human really is. The soul, the energy, the frequency, the vibration, whatever you just call it. That is really what the person is, right? And then the ego is what the person chooses to present themselves as. So in astrology, we look at it. Meanwhile, astrology really is the study of gravitational physics. That's really what that is. It's not what you might call it. Woo-woo is the study of gravitational physics. That's what the study of astrology is. But that's how. So anyway, when you meet somebody, if you are conscious, or I don't know what else, if you are aware, the first thing you detect about themselves is not their sun. Your eye picks up their sun. Your ego and your conscious mind picks up their conscious mind, which is really their sun. What you really pick up is their moon and their aura. And the aura projects out. The way I can explain what the aura is and how it feels is like it's like getting a bucket of water and dipping your hand in the water. You know this water is cold because the water is sitting there. You put your finger in it and you can interpret the water as cold or hot or tepid. Right? The water is just there. That's what the aura is. The aura is just there. And then, if the person is an authentic person, their ego and their aura will be in alignment. It will be the same. If the person is not an authentic person, their aura will be cold and their ego will be hot. Oh, that's the simplest way to explain it. If the person is not authentic, their aura will be cold and their ego will be hot. So they're projecting to you one thing and their aura is saying something else. And if you really go back, I mean, that's the first impression you get. You don't even know what the aura is saying per se, or what the intentions in their aura is, because it's there. The intentions towards you is in their aura, but you are not interpreting it yet. You just know that there's a discrepancy between this aura and this ego right here. Right? So, that's the first thing you pick up. You pick up that discrepancy first. And then, usually, if the person is relevant, I go back later and I try to, because immediately when you pick it up, your mind does not have a word for it yet, because you're not thinking it through. Because what your mind does, your mind will now take that feeling and run it, or that projection, or that energetic imprint you got, and run it through the database of your mind to find the right word that is closest to describing what that is, because that's what we've done. Language is simply a way of us describing things. So when you say something is hot, You are describing what that feels like. When you say something is cold, you're describing what it feels like. When you say something is pretty, you're ascribing beauty to it. So language is simply is a descriptive process. So sometimes when you perceive somebody's aura, if it's somebody that you're trying to figure out why did that person rub me that way? Why? And then your mind would then take that imprint and run it to the database and then find a word that is closest matching to what I say, boom, that's what that was. So it's very important that when you interact with people, that they are authentic first. My husband and I had a conversation yesterday, and we were asking. Well, I asked him, "Why me? Why did you pick me?" And then he said, "Well, it's because of this, because of that, blah blah blah." And then he asked me why I picked him, and I said, "Because you're authentic, because you're innocent." I go to the heart of a person. I really don't care, about what they look like. Everything my husband was telling me was, how we, are the same, and we have similar values, and we get along, and we like each other, and all of that. I cut through to the core of the person, because I just don't know why or how, but that's what I pick up first. I don't even think about it. I pick up, is there a discrepancy between the aura and the soul or the ego? If there's a discrepancy, then I say that person's soul is sick. There's something wrong with the soul. And so typically I stay away from people like that, because whatever it is that's going on in the soul, I don't want to immerse myself in it. You know what I mean? So when you are able to read, because the aura of a person goes before them, he announces them even before they speak. He goes before them, so they can't hide that. Their intention towards you is clear, is apparent, because they can't hide that. Now with the soul, with their ego, they can manipulate their ego. They can smile when they're really pissed. They can talk nice when they really want to cuss you out. They can manipulate their ego to present a certain thing, but they cannot manipulate their aura. So reading a person's aura is especially if you are discretionary about people or the people that you choose to hang with. Reading a person's aura is important. The how to read the aura, I gotta teach differently, because that takes skill. But that's how, that is important to do, because if you don't do that, you're gonna have all these people in your life and you wonder why your life is a mess. Make sense?